Yes, those banners in the corner are very clear. The anti-Glazers section of the Manchester United supporters, very clever as well. They've put them in a position there. They know that the TV cameras would pick them out as the teams came out, so the message is there very clear. White banners which say full sale only. Another one, Glazers out. Another one with the Manchester United colours, red, white and black, just go. And also in the yellow and in the gold and green, Glazers out. So the message is there, as we've discussed with Simon Stone already this evening. You know, this is very much a live issue, and getting towards the end of this season, Manchester United supporters are concerned where this is heading and whether they're going to be in a position to really compete financially this summer. So that's what's going on off the field. But on the field, Peter Schmeichel's with us, the Manchester United great, on the field, going for a third semi-final this season, Manchester United, if they can get through this. And at the other end as well, red flares going off in amongst that 700 strong collection of Savilla fans. So they've got the pyros in there, red balloons are being let off, the smoke pouring out of that area, and the passion is very much obvious from their supporters. So yeah, off the field, Peter, uncertainty. On the field, things heading in the right direction, and Manchester United favourites to win this tie.
Well, I would say that they are favourites, and I expect them to win this. If you progress the way that Manchester United have progressed this season, and it's slowly sort of getting better. Yes, there's been a little bit of a spell where it hasn't been so great, but it's getting better and better and better. When you get to this point, playing a team like Savilla that are struggling massively in their league, yes, they have a great tradition in this competition. But we are, as we say, Manchester United. When we say that, we also need to go and show that, or prove that on the pitch. So I expect them to win today. I expect them to score goals. You never expect them to do the job today and finish it, but good result for before that Thursday. That is the minimum requirement today.
Very respectful from Bruno Fernandes to his opposite number, Ivan Rakitic, as the two of them exchanged pennants and shook hands, an arm around his shoulder, and off they go now to their respective teams. Manchester United in the red shirts with the white trim, black shorts, black socks, and Sevilla in their white colours, the white shirts, white shorts and red socks. Manchester United will play from left to right in the first half. I see Alejandro Garnacho has just taken his seat to our left, that blonde hair just fading now. Maybe he's not too far away from coming back. Scott McTominay's in the stand as well to our left. No Luke Shaw tonight, and of course no Marcus Rashford. So Anthony Martial starts for the first time since January. Manchester United with De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez and Malacia. Casemiro's back after his domestic suspension with Sabitzer, Bruno Fernandes in there, Anthony on the right, Sancho on the left and Martial through the middle. And Sevilla's team tonight very much with the fact that they play relegation threatened Valencia away on Sunday. As the match begins, this quarter-final kicks off. The referee, Felix Zweier, the German, blows his whistle, and Manchester United begin the tie and knocking the ball back into their own half. And Sevilla go all the way back to their goalkeeper Bono, the World Cup goalkeeper for Morocco. Then the back four, the two full-backs, Argentina World Cup winners with Montiel and Acuna. As Anthony plays it through, chance, it's in! No, the offside flag is up. Jadon Sancho clipped it away beautifully, but the pass through the middle from Anthony found Sancho, who had strayed beyond the back line of Sevilla, and the flag was very quickly up, and correctly so.
Yeah, no doubt about the offside, but what a great start. Anthony cut inside, and he was just a little bit late in passing the ball to Sancho, made a great run, but it all came of Bono trying to kick the ball long, and as Guillaume said pre-match, he's not very good at that, and so far he's proven that.
Yeah, very interesting that, wasn't it? After the pre-match discussion, that the first opportunity that Bono had to clear the ball out with his feet, he gave the ball to Manchester United.
And so there you have the contrast the other end. What people have criticised De Gea for not being able to play with his feet, he got the ball there. He played a little 1-2 to I think it was to Casemiro inside of the own box. He was under pressure, but he opened up the pitch and Man United started an attack. We haven't seen that from De Gea ever before Erik ten Hag came to the club, and I like that progression.
So 0-0, Manchester United 0, Sevilla 0. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. You can listen to 5 Live via BBC Sounds as well on the app. And also we're on Radio Manchester tonight, BBC Radio Manchester, so to welcome to listeners to Radio Manchester. Casemiro was fouled by Goodell, so it's a free kick to Manchester United inside their own half. The Sevilla side tonight, Boyo in goal, Montiel and Acuna the full-backs, Nianzou and Marcao are the central defenders tonight. Fernando, once of Manchester City, and Goodell, as well as Rakitic, the former Barcelona man. He's the captain, 35 years old now. Lucas Ocampo, Oliver Torres, and Eric Lamela through the middle, the former Tottenham man. So Alex Telles, on loan from Manchester United, is on the bench. So is Jesus Navas, the former Manchester City man as well, and Brian Hill as well, who is back at Sevilla on loan from Tottenham, as well as the top scorer En Naziri, the Moroccan World Cup player. They are all on the bench, and Guillaume Balaguer was telling us before the match that it's a delicate balance because of that match against Valencia at the weekend. Sevilla just 5 points ahead of Valencia in the table. Excellent from Ante on the right hand side, away from Acuna, now into Martial, right side of the box, but his attempted cross was blocked behind by Nianzou, and it's a corner to Manchester United.
Just before kick-off we talked about Anthony having, show us a little bit more, prove that you are worth the money that we paid, and already now there's been 2 moves that he has been instrumental in. One, he went inside the pitch and passed to Sancho, and he was offside, of course, we know that, and now he created an opportunity on the right hand side that's giving Manchester United a corner kick.
From the right, Sancho pulls it out to the edge of the box, poor, easily cleared away by Savilla, but Bruno Fernandes is onto it. Sevilla giving the ball back to Manchester United. Poor clearance was by Montiel, but Sevilla have won it back, and the ball is played to Oliver Torres now on the left hand side, through the middle to Lamela. Lamela turns, clips it to Rakitic, takes the ball down, passes it forward into the penalty area to Ocampos, right side of the box, carries it out into the full back position. He's being chased out there by Martinez, so Ocampos couldn't then find the pass forward, and Manchester United have been able to find Sancho halfway inside his own territory. Ball still in play, steered back by Fernando to the right hand side, but Sevilla now taking possession near the halfway line. So 0-0, 4 minutes on the clock. You'll hear the second leg live from Seville next Thursday night. And here in Manchester tonight, Guillaume Balaguer was telling us earlier that it's 30 degrees in Seville today. Not quite that here in Manchester, despite the fact that there is a whiff of springtime in the air, certainly. Blue skies above, although there's a big grey cloud appearing as well. But the temperature, I would say, closer to maybe 15, something like that. Just a little edge of coolness. Manchester United coming forward through the middle, but it's step forward by Marcao, the central defender, who turns it now to his right, and Lamela has wriggled away from Bruno Fernandes, gives the ball to the right hand side. Ocampos is there, now into the penalty area. Oliver Torres to the byline, tried to turn it infield, but it was blocked out for a throw into Sevilla down the right hand side, maybe 10 yards back from the corner flag, as Sevilla attack towards the Stretford end to our left, the packed Stretford end. There'll be 74,000 plus inside Old Trafford tonight. Throw in then for Sevilla, for Manchester United to defend. False start, but here comes the long looping throw to the near post. Varane heads it down, took a deflection, bounces out, but then a slip from Goodell as he hits the shot, and that scooped it well wide and behind and into the Manchester United fans. So 0-0. Peter Schmeichel.
And already now we've seen that Seville don't have any pace up front. There was this counter-attack just before, and had they had a little bit of pace, they could have dinked it in behind the back 2 players, that was Van Bissaka and Varane back, but they didn't. They tried to play their way through, and Manchester United defensively have been very, very good this season. They cleaned it up.
Manchester United 0, Sevilla 0. There's a statement being released by the FA tonight which relates to the incident at the end of the Liverpool-Arsenal match last weekend. The FA say they've thoroughly reviewed all of the evidence in relation to the incident at Anfield involving Andrew Robertson and the assistant Konstantin Hatzidakis. They will be taking no further action. So that's the news from the FA tonight. No further action after what appeared to be an arm from the assistant into the face of Andrew Robertson. So we'll have more on that, but the FA taking no further action. Ball is cleared away from the back by Montiel, but he's won a throw-in. It bounced out of play off Fernandez, so it's a throw-in to Savilla level with the edge of their own box.
I just wondered, John, had that been a player, would they have done the same thing?
Well, we'll never know, Peter.
Yeah,
they've reviewed it, and that's their decision. So the ball's out of play for a throw-in on the far side. Last time I saw Montiel, I think it's the same for you as well, Peter, scoring that penalty right at the end of the World Cup final, the penalty that clinched it for Argentina. And here he is again now with Montiel on the right-hand side, Acuna on the left, throwing near the halfway line.
They're talking about, going from one extreme to the next.
World Cup
winning the World Cup, coming back, fighting for survival.
Relegation struggle with Sevilla. That's what it is for them this season. 13th in the table, but just 5 points above Valencia, who they play at the weekend on Sunday afternoon. A free kick, centre field for Sevilla after Montiel Ocampos had his legs taken away from him by Malacia. So a free kick 10 yards inside the Manchester United half. Sevilla, despite their struggles, came through the previous two knockout rounds against Fenerbahce and PSV, but it's Manchester United tonight, and United holding a very high line actually that is walking out as we look at them. And the free kick taken by Rakitic, a high deep one across the penalty area which will just bounce harmlessly into the Manchester United right back area, and United can clear centrally. It does bounce for Martial, who was nudged into by Rakitic. He knew that he was coming there. Martial, he invited the challenge. It came from Rakitic, and it's a free kick.
That was an interesting way to defend a free kick that's like 45 yards out to the right of the box. First they were inside the 18-yard line, and then as they were lining up to take it, Varane took them at least 8 to 10 yards further forward, and it confused. I didn't see who took the free kick, but it confused him. And it was a Rakitic. Yeah. It was a really, really badly taken free kick.
Throwing down the line for Lamela, and Martinez, who'd come right out to the Manchester United right, actually hooked it back and has conceded what was a cheapish corner. So a corner for Sevilla. Rakitic is coming across to take this as well. De Gea actually went and got the ball and then carried it back into the 6-yard box just to buy his team a little bit of time to set themselves up for this. So Rakitic, it's an in-swinger, right-footed from in front of where the tunnel is, which is retracted at the moment, of course, and he steps back down almost into the mouth of the tunnel. It's a slight incline as Rakitic comes up to take this. In fact, the referee is not very happy about something. No, it's the ball in the quadrant. He's just checking to see if the ball's in the quadrant, but surely it was from our angle.
That's I'm sorry, but dear Mr. Referee, that's ridiculous. You just moved the ball about half a centimetre.
Take it short.
Waited 20 seconds
out to the edge of the area. The shot is blocked, and it comes out now for Montiel, who hits that. That's blocked on the edge of the penalty area, but the referee spotted an infringement, and actually Montiel, when it bounced back to him,
he's thinking it's a handball.
Yeah,
I think
it's a handball, but Montiel.
No, he takes the ball and throws it away.
I threw it away.
He stops Manchester United from countering, and rightly so. The referee, called him back and showed him the yellow card.
Well, you know what that?
Good refereeing there.
You know what that means? That means Montiel is suspended for the second leg. He was on a yellow card, and he would be suspended for the second leg.
We'll just watch. Yes, it's a clear handball. So the referee got that right, and then Montiel picks the ball up and he throws it away, and rightly so, he calls him back and gives him a yellow card.
Well, that is absolute madness by a player who will know that he was one yellow card away from missing the second leg of this tie. So World Cup winner or not, that wasn't the wisest move that he's ever made in his career. So he has Anthony now, Manchester United, still 0-0 on 5 Live. Anthony plays it infield, Savilla now. Savilla's low ball across the edge of the box, actually right into the path of the recovering Ocampos, who was able to turn and put it out.
This is what I mean with Anthony. He gets the ball on the right hand side, and because he hasn't got enough pace to run all the way down to the penalty box, he stops and cuts inside, and still the move is on. There are 4 players running towards the goal, the Savilla goal, and he passes it behind Sabitzer, so he has to stop, wait for the ball instead of playing it in front of him. It actually stopped the move. That was a great opportunity for Manchester United.
Yep, came to nothing, and so it's 0-0 with almost 12 minutes on the clock here on this dry evening at Old Trafford.
Well, you see, what we see already is as soon as Manchester United have the ball, you know, they put the block out, you know, so they're 4 at the back, 5 at the back. It depends on where the ball is, and it's going to be difficult to break down. So when you have those opportunities, you've got to take advantage of it.
Martial now through the middle. Martial gets it back, a 1-2 with Bruno Fernandes. Martial pulls it across. Anthony inside the penalty area, moving the ball from foot to foot, gives it back to the left-hand side. It's laid back by Sancho. Anthony with a shot, and Bono diving to his right. Claws it wide. Good save.
Yeah, Anthony got the ball in and around the penalty spot, and he went left. It kind of felt like a very good move already. It was already dying, and then he got the ball back. A really good shot. It looked top corner, but Bono saved it. He was equal to it. It's a corner for Manchester United.
Corner then from the left-hand side for Manchester United. Here is the delivery, which is headed down and away. Good header away by Nianzou. Then a challenge on Oliver Torres, who clearly wanted the free kick, went down, rolled around, then quickly got up as the ball was played back into the penalty area, and then Marcao with a fly kick volley away, quarter of the way up the lower tier of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand.
Yeah, good refereeing again. Sabitzer, it was a clean tackle. And he went down like he'd broken his leg, and the referee waited on, and he looked up, shook his head, and then he was running like nothing's happened. Good refereeing.
0-0. Manchester United with Wan-Bissaka in the centre circle. Ball out to the right-hand side. Back in field to the Manchester United right back. Already tonight, if you've not heard, in the Europa Conference League, West Ham have drawn 1-1 in Belgium with Ghent, and Manchester United playing the ball out to the left-hand side, where Martial does well, flicks it in field. Now little ball infield from Sancho, comes out to Bruno Fernandes, now into Sabitzer! Left foot, finishes it! Might have taken a little deflection, but nevertheless it was brilliantly hit by Sabitzer, and there's the opening goal of the quarter-final at Old Trafford, and Sabitzer is the source of it.
What a fantastic pass by Sancho, and this is what I really like about Savilla. He's a midfield player, but he's making those runs into the box, and Sancho found him. He's one touch, and then I'm just waiting to see the replay here if he got a deflection, but it was a very, very good finish, out of reach for Bono, and it's 1-0 Manchester United, fully deserved.
Just looked as though it had a bit of wobble on it, didn't it? The way that it...
yeah, he might have kicked it against his own foot. That's what we see the replay now.
But it was a beautifully worked
Great
goal.
play by Martial on the left-hand side. And once Sancho gets a ball, what a pass. He's not offside. I actually think it hits his own foot, doesn't it? No, it's a deflection.
Might have just flicked off the leg of Marcao, who was sliding in, and that went with a wobble past Bono. Yeah, just flicked off his calf.
But still, what a great move. It all started on the left-hand side. Anthony Martial looked like he was running into a cul-de-sac, and he backheeled the ball into Casemiro, who then passed it into Sancho. He passed it straight down to Sabitzer, and I'm really, really happy for him scoring this goal. He has been fantastic in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's really upped it, hasn't he? The man on loan from Bayern Munich, and you did wonder, I must confess, whether he was going to be a bit part sort of figure, but no, not a bit of it. He's now Marcel Sabitzer. It's his 9th start as a Manchester United player tonight. That's his second goal, scored in the FA Cup against Fulham, and Manchester United getting that early goal, that settler that they'll have wanted, although it's been lost now by Malacia, and the ball is played right across the edge of the 6-yard box, but Oliver Torres couldn't get there. It's whipped across low, and it's out of play for a throw into Manchester United in their right back position. But
Malacia lost the ball near the corner flag, trying to dribble his way out of trouble. You don't do that without getting punished.
Bruno Fernandes tries to drive it forward with his left foot. That was cut out by Goodell, and now Fernando stretching forward with the ball, stretches his legs back to Acuna near the halfway line. Acuna was sent off at the weekend when they drew 2-2 with Celta Vigo, and that's a misplaced pass. Martial was challenged by Marcao, comes forward again for Manchester United. Anthony, here's Sabitzer on the right hand side. Sabitzer thought about the ball across the edge of the penalty area and now plays it in, but Bono is going to watch that, although he wasn't quite sure of his bearings there, and it just dropped over his head, but beyond the far post as well for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's again, Savilla here, there, everywhere. A minute ago he was tackling by the left corner flag, defending left corner flag, and now he got the ball on the right attacking side. He actually tried to cross the ball. I think that's a little bit of wind on the pitch, because it looked like the wind just caught that ball and caught Bono out a little bit, and had it been another yard to the right, I think it would have gone in.
1-0, Manchester United lead though, and in what is their 50th match of the season, incidentally. So this is the 50th competitive match under the management of Erik ten Hag. And if they're able to get the type of lead that they did in the previous round, that's the dream scenario, isn't it? To have a healthy lead. Remember, it was 4-1 against Betis in the last 16 before they had to go there, and indeed won that match as well with the goal from Marcus Rashford in the beautiful city of Seville in Andalusia. Ball down the right hand side for Seville, but Martinez with the challenge, and that blocks it behind Ocampo, trying to find his way into the penalty area, but it came off Martinez in the end. It's a corner to Sevilla.
Yeah, and just on what you just said there, John, I mean, I know we're only like 18 minutes into the game, but there is a potential for scoring goals here. Until now, Sevilla don't look like a threatening team, and not a great defensive team either.
No. It's there for Manchester United on the basis of what we've seen. Rakitic with the out-swinging corner to the near post, but Martial was able to get up unchallenged and just headed away, and it was cleared further away on the edge of the penalty area.
Now Anthony is showing, some of the things that I've been looking for him to do. A little bit of a fight, trying to win the ball. He was actually putting pressure on the goalkeeper there, running 50 yards to do that.
Sevilla though get it back. Played infield by Acuna, and then Lamela with a flick to Rakitic. There's ground being made by Montiel on the right hand side. Montiel with a cross into the near post, headed away by Martinez. Comes back out to Montiel. He heads it back across the penalty area. Varane's underneath that. Back in again from Montiel. Then headed away by Martinez. Now Ocampos on the right hand side. Low ball slung across, but that was headed away by a falling Martinez, and it's out of play for a throw-in down the right hand side for Seville. Repeatedly Sevilla delivering the ball into the Manchester United penalty areas, but it was repelled every time. So a throw in a little further on than level with the edge of the penalty area. Ocampos heads it back to Montiel, then he works it back to Ocampos, who takes it on, lifts it past his man, then crosses into the penalty area, but a stretch and a clearance near the penalty area. Martial is able to bring it down. He's away from Nianzou, but then checks back onto his right foot, and then turns and looks forward again, slips it through. Sabitzer could be in again, scores, left-footed. There's no flag. The offside was tight, but for the time being, it's Manchester United 2, Sevilla 0, and it's Marcel Sabitzer 2, Sevilla 0.
Oh, what a great run by Sabitzer again, and the finish was a lot better than before. It's 2-0 as it stands, but it's very, very tight. I don't know if it goes to VAR, but it's very, very tight. Great pass, great play by Anthony Martial again. Kept the ball out, cut on the inside, and then the pass to Sabitzer. Again, the run, and again, 20 seconds ago he was defending a corner kick and heading the ball away. I mean, I think we're seeing the ball now. It's Anthony Martial gets the ball inside of his own half. hasn't got the pace to beat 4 men, turns inside, looks for Savilla, who's well onside. What a great pass, very similar to the first goal he scored, but he got the opportunity, got the chance, and for the second time in only 10 minutes, he's put the ball in the back of the net.
I make that 2 goals in 6 minutes. And he absolutely buried that. Left foot, slight angle, left side of the penalty area. What was he, 12, 13 yards out, given the angle. And he drove it to Bono's right, past him, into the net. And there we are, 2-0.
And as I said just before, it looks like a game where there are goals to be had. And this is... it's a must now for Manchester United to stamp from authority in this tournament by scoring a lot of goals, but also showing everyone that we are definitely, and I say we, Manchester United, definitely on the right track. I'm sorry if anyone's offended by that. I can't help myself.
I know you can't, Peter. And I know that everyone will know that you played for other teams, but the association with Manchester United was a long and famous one, and it's in your blood, isn't it? I think it's in your DNA. It worked its way into your DNA in Manchester United.
Certainly has.
So Varane playing the ball from the back. So no Marcus Rashford then, Peter, tonight. His 28 goals and his all-round play. Not part of it for Manchester United this evening, but who stepped up? Marcel Sabitzer. Both goals.
And it's been coming. He's been playing so well. You know, this running from box to box and actually running past strikers. You know, we don't see that a lot with the midfield players these days, but he's doing it.
And also Martial, the creator for that goal. United coming forward again, but Sancho, as he tried to drag it with the top of his boot, the underneath the studs, he just didn't get the contact that he wanted, broke down. So Savilla are right up against this now. There's a long way to go in the tie. We've had a quarter of the first leg, but Manchester United are right in control of this one, and as I mentioned, they are now threatening to do what they did against Betis. Anthony slips over, falls over just 10 yards inside the Sevilla half, so they are quickly away, the visitors from southern Spain. But then Rakitic is dispossessed, and Manchester United have it again. I must say Martial's been excellent so far in the game. Bruno Fernandes, his ball down the right to Anthony, into the penalty area, plays it across with his left foot, but central defender Nianzou, who's a tall man, stretched forward back to the edge of the 6-yard box and put it behind for a corner.
Fantastic ball from Bruno Fernandes out to the right to Anthony, who dribbled inside the box and on his outside left foot tried to cross the ball, but it was a really, really good defending clearance. It could have gone anywhere. It could have gone in the goal, but it's gone out for a corner kick.
Corner to Manchester United from the right that Sancho is waiting to take, and the referee is saying, come on, let's get on with it. And Bruno Fernandes, as he likes to do, is having a go at refereeing the game himself, and he's telling Acuna that he wasn't 10 yards away, so eventually Acuna did retreat, and Manchester United take a short corner. Bruno Fernandes now drills that right across to the back post. Goudelio was there to head it away, the Serbian, and then a touch from Casemiro takes it down into the full-back position. Sliding challenge from Rakitic, slid into him. Casemiro went down, and that's a yellow card for Rakitic, and a free kick to Manchester United.
When you're 35 years of age, you've played everywhere, at every level. To commit a foul like that, where Casemiro is actually going towards the corner flag and getting a yellow card for that, that's just stupid. I'm putting my neck on the line. This is a game where Manchester United should at least score 2 or 3 more goals. That's a difference in the level of the two teams.
Yeah, they could effectively cement their place in the semi-finals, where they will play either Juventus or Sporting, incidentally, the winners of this tie. Free kick then, out on the left. Bruno Fernandes, he's wasted that. He's got right underneath it. You know, the contact wasn't as he wanted. He was, I guess, trying to whip it in. He got underneath it and sent it high over the crossbar on the far post, and it is a goal kick. So if you just joined us, if you joined us late, you've missed Manchester United scoring the first 2 goals of the tie. Marcel Sabitzer scoring both of them. Bruno Fernandes, I think it was, actually with a pass through for the first one, and the shot that took a little deflection off Marcao past Bono, and then the second goal, Martial with a driving pass through, not unlike actually each other, the 2 goals, both of them coming from low passes driven into the penalty area, and Sabitzer running onto it, which might well not be a coincidence. as Wan-Bissaka.
Two really, really good runs he made, and in both goals, Martial was instrumental in what happened before they were scored.
Now Oliver Torres on the left-hand side, crossing for Sevilla. Stretch with a header, but it was a full stretch from Goodell up in the penalty area, and he headed it well wide of the post in behind. And already Sevilla look rather bedraggled, I must say. Their new coach, Jose Luis Mendilibar, is standing down there on the edge of the pitch. He's their third coach this season in a light blue tracksuit. He's got bags and bags of experience, nearly 30 years in coaching. He's been here, there and everywhere in Spain, but he's known as a man who's done well over the years, keeping teams up on tight budgets. That's what he's known for, avoiding the drop, and that's what they want him to do, really. That's his job, Mendilibar, for the remainder of the season. If they get any further in this competition, that's a bonus, but with the scoreline of Manchester United 2, Sevilla 0, that's looking highly unlikely. Ball on the right hand side with Savilla, and it's slipped infield to Rakitic, then back to Goodell, and now the right back Montiel turns and will knock it back into his own half, which he does to the central defender. So 2-0 Manchester United lead. There is a choice of listening, by the way, on 5 Live tonight on Sports Extra. One Super League match tonight, Salford against Castleford. You can hear that on Sports Extra on your digital radio or via BBC Sounds. Sevilla coming again with Oliver Torres on the left-hand side. Torres, then Rakitic turns the ball, first time touch out to Acuna, then Rakitic has continued his run down into the Manchester United right-back area, and it's played off the shins of Varane and out for a throw to save.
And it is precisely what Guillaume told us pre-match. They are playing a more basic game when they started from the goalkeeper. It's a long ball up, and those balls are easily dealt with by the likes of Wan-Bissaka. He needs a little bit of support from Anthony to pick the headers up.
Long throw into the Manchester United penalty area, flicked on at the near post, but Ocampos has just given it away to Sancho, and now Jadon Sancho running at Montiel, but Ocampos, having lost the ball initially, then was able to win it back while Sancho was thinking about it. Now Goodell on the halfway line under the bright lights of Old Trafford shining down from the tops of the stands, and Eric Lamela carrying the ball forward. Lamela, who's involved in famous European campaigns with Tottenham Hotspur, not least reaching the Champions League final under Mauricio Pochettino. This comes to nothing though, in Manchester United have got it back and quite comfortable with it. So 2-0 the home side lead. Manchester United, this is their 6th consecutive match against Spanish opponents in this competition, having been in the group with Real Sociedad, who did actually win the group in the end, remember. But then Barcelona, the famous win against Barcelona, Anthony scoring that all-important goal, and then Betis brushed aside in the previous round. And 2-0 they lead now against Sevilla, with the ball being passed out from the back by Bruno Fernandes, but it took a deflection and is back with Rakitic now centrally. Rakitic to Lamela, back to Rakitic again. Casemiro in front of him, that's former Real Madrid against former Barcelona, of course, those two in there. And then it comes back to Acuna nearer the halfway line on the left-hand side. And then in from the left, Torres, who's been chased by Wan-Bissaka, who slides in, took the ball, took the man as well, but a clean challenge right under the nose of the referee. And then Anthony, fiery deflection, wins a throw-in for Manchester United.
So this is a point in the game, we always say between 28 and 32, where you kind of have to, get a grip of yourself and refocus, because if it's too easy, which it's been, sometimes you might just take it too easy when you have the ball and think that this is going to work, and then it is, and that just happened. Bruno gave the ball away cheaply. This is a game, there's so many.
Marcao, as Sabitzer was trying to break through from halfway, Marcao went in with a challenge, and there looked to be a bit of arm in that, I must say, but Sabitzer went down, didn't make a fuss of it, and he got up and play continues, and it wasn't a free kick.
Big difference in size to two players. I think he just ran into him, and
Anthony's cut out a forward pass from Fernando. Anthony gives it back to Casemiro, who sweeps it forward under the instep of Sancho. Sancho up to the edge of the penalty area on his right foot, defenders getting back. Sancho shoots, but it was blocked away on the edge of the penalty area by Montiel, and actually that deflection, that block has sent Sevilla away on the counter-attack. Ocampos Now to Lamela, who turns, but red shirt's getting back for Manchester United. However, Lamela has found Montiel, and Montiel's low ball across is cleared away by a sliding Malacia out of play for a throw down the right.
So John, that it was what I just said. Sometimes you get to a point where it's so easy and you actually take it lightly. Sancho dribbling instead of passing the ball. I mean, it's a clear opportunity to create a goal-scoring chance, and then Casemiro trying to do whatever he tried to do, and he should praise himself lucky that there's no pace in this Sevilla team. Otherwise, it would have been 4 against 1.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of what you and I have been saying here in the commentary reflected in the way that Manchester United are playing. It's almost too comfortable. Bruno Fernandes now taking the ball down the left-hand side, lifting it across to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka away from the defender, Oliver Torres, then back to Anthony. Left-footed ball curled in towards the back post. Martial pulls it back across, bounces across. Bruno Fernandes, Bono gets a hand to that. And the final touch was from Sabitzer, who might have had a hat-trick inside the first 32 minutes, but Bono made the save.
Very, very good deep cross from Anthony, and Martial was at the end of it. He cut it back in, and Fernandes got a chance. It was a really good save by Bono, and the rebound went straight to Sabitzer, who, had it been just a little bit more to the left, would have had an easy tap in. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't, and it went out for throw-in from a defender.
And he would have been offside anyway, actually. Whether he got a touch on that or not, I'm not entirely sure. Bruno Fernandes with the effort, but Sabitzer was in an offside position. So
he was there, Yep. He again, he's a midfield player, and quite often in this game so far, he's been the very, very front man. And those runs are very difficult to defend against.
Well, in the first quarter of the match, he's trebled the number of goals that he scored for Manchester United. He's gone from 1 to 3, playing in the midfield, surging runs, super finishes, in the 6-yard box, just like Brian Robson all over again, who we were saying down on the side of the pitch.
Yeah, we saw him, and
ball played through by Bruno Fernandes to Martial, left side of the area, plays it across. Sancho, fortunate bounce of the ball, then plays it back out to Martial, and then Martial, Casemiro, left foot, hits Sabitzer and bounces well across the face of goal. No, it was the defender had hit, and that deflected it well wide and behind. Sancho was in there.
He was a really good move. Again, it's like Sancho, when he gets the opportunities that he's getting in this game, he can't make his mind up. What am I supposed to do with this? He should be a little bit more direct. He has a pace. He's got the technique to challenge. It's a great ball from Bruno Fernandes to Martial. Sancho gets the ball there, and he's clear, and he turns away from goal and gives it back to Martial instead of having a shot.
He's in the 6. Here's the corner into the 6-yard area. Bono pushes it away. Then it's headed goalwards by Varane, but straight at the Sevilla goalkeeper Bono, who's able to catch it in front of his face.
And just to finish that move before, guess who was at the very, very front?
Sabitzer, by any chance? So 2-0 Manchester United lead, and good value for it. Could be more, and Bono might have to have one of his good nights. One of the players from Morocco at the World Cup. Manchester United with the ball, playing it back into the penalty area. Remember, one of his clean sheets was against Spain. Clean sheets against both Spain and Portugal.
He played really well, didn't he? Really well. He impressed me, and the whole team really impressed me, the way they played. But he was called upon in a few very important situations, and he dealt with whatever he was facing very well.
Bruno Fernandes sent a ball forward, but Sabitzer was furthest forward and in an offside position, so a free kick to Sevilla. Manchester United 2, Sevilla 0. We've got commentary on a run of Manchester United games now. Actually, this one here tonight at Old Trafford on 5 Live, and we're also at Nottingham Forest with Manchester United on Sunday afternoon. You'll hear that game on Premier League Sunday, and then the second leg next week in the atmospheric Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium. You ever been there, Peter? You've been in most places in world football.
I was there the night before my 30th birthday, playing Spain, we needed a draw to get to the World Cup in America, and we lost one.
I was just going to say, I've got a feeling this is not going to end well, this story. Yeah, I'm pleased I asked.
Zubizarreta, the Spanish goalkeeper, got sent off after 9 minutes, and we still lost 1-0.
Agony. Might be different this time for Manchester United when they go there, but I've been there quite a few times, and it can generate a real atmosphere. 2-0 Manchester United lead, and then Anthony sliding challenge in on him by Acuna, who might have taken a bit of Anthony. I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's too badly hurt. The referee is going to have a word with the left back though. Acuna.
I have to say it looked bad. It's an unnecessary tackle from behind. I've just seen a close-up now of Anthony. It looked like, we're seeing it now. It's not a great tackle, and he had no complaints. Had he been booked, he would have no complaints about that. But Anthony really, he made a meal of it, and I think the referee saw that.
Yeah. So 2-0 Manchester United lead. That was Acuna, who, as I say, was sent off on Friday night when they drew 2-2 with Celta Vigo. They were winning that match 2-0 in the 89th minute, and ended up they had Acuna sent off, and that's the 11th red card that Sevilla have been shown this season. They've complained to the Spanish FA about it, because they've received so many, and the Spanish FA said to them, you need to control your players.
It's a great response, that, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
but 11 red cards, it's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That tells you another problem they have.
Well, discipline, and we've already seen it tonight with Montiel getting himself yellow carded and ruled out of the second leg. Here on the right hand side was Campos. Ball bounces centrally. Lamela comes through it. Campos, who was able to get there first, but he was actually caught. I think it was Lamela as he came in for that challenge, and the Manchester United man has gone down. He actually slid into it on Lamela and might have just sort of caught his studs and come off worst with that. The yellow card is out. Savilla are saying, how is this a yellow card? And Casemiro. It's Casemiro who slid in for the challenge.
Do you know what? I agree with the Seville players there. How is that a yellow card? That's a red card. That. Look at this now. We're seeing it. Yeah. It's a definite red card. That is a bit nasty. Lamela knows the ball's gone, and he stamps right on his shin. He's nowhere near the ball, and I don't know what's the rule here. If he's given him a yellow card, if VAR can't interfere, can they?
No, if it is a red, VAR can step in. I just wonder whether the close proximity. Lamela has gone into the challenge. Casemiro has slid in, and Lamela, his foot is there. But you're right, Peter. They're having a look for a potential red card.
The thing is, he had a great opportunity to just pull out of it. I think it is a red card. I'd be very disappointed if that's not changed. That's not on. Casemiro he's down. He's not someone who's making a meal of it. He's down. He's definitely hurt. And when we see this in slow motion, it looks really nasty. And it looks like he could have pulled out, and he didn't.
Well, this could be big trouble for Sevilla. Already 2-0 down. It's gone to VAR. It's another German official, Christian Dinget, who is the main.
When you think about it, Casemiro's been sent off in the Premier League twice on VAR. This would be a little bit of justice.
Well, let's see. We're just waiting to see whether the referee, the very experienced referee Felix Vaya, who shows a yellow card for this, and I can appreciate in normal time why he would have shown a yellow card. But as you said, Peter, VAR have seen it, and it's the way that his left foot comes down on the side of his calf. They've had a look at it, and they've decided that a yellow card is enough.
Lamela is a lucky boy.
Yeah, I think it's the proximity.
Yeah. Also, the referee, from watching it in real life, he's on the wrong side of that tackle, so he doesn't see it the way that we see it on close up.
Yeah, and they've decided that it must have been close, but it was in that grey area, and Manchester United have actually got a problem with Varane, who sat down on the pitch near the halfway line, so that's a problem for Manchester United. Sevilla making ground down the left. Torres with the ball, Goodell with the shot. That's blocked by a sliding Casemiro, and it's a yellow Fernandez, and it's a yellow card for handball. Blocked it with his arm. He threw himself in front of it. I mean, the shot's from point blank range, but I think his arms were out.
Well, it's a handball.
I'm sorry about that.
But that's not a yellow card. He's just given a yellow card for something that's supposed to be a red. And yeah, he threw himself at the ball, but where's his arm supposed to go? I mean, it's just bad luck from a very short distance that it hits his arm. Okay, I agree on the free kick, because it is a handball, he stopped it. But it's not at the oh my God, it's even worse in slow motion.
He's turned his back.
He turns his back.
Yeah, and
it's not. I mean, it's nowhere near yellow card.
His arm's just out from his body. It's hit from, maybe 2-3 yards away from him. And Bruno Fernandes is very unhappy with that, and actually that means that he's suspended for next week. So Bruno Fernandes is out of the second leg. So and no Rashford, no Bruno Fernandes.
So much more they need in this game to score some more goals. Varane, so Harry Maguire's just coming out for warm-up now. Varane seems to be struggling. Score another 2, you can put other players on.
Well, Varane's back on his feet. He's part of the wall here for this, but he clearly has a problem. Harry Maguire, it looks as though, might come on. It's a free kick then, just to the left side of the D. Lamela, it's Rakitic who hits this but curls it wide and over the wall and over the top corner and a little wide as well. And that comes to nothing, and it's a goal kick. 5 Live and Radio Manchester from the BBC. Listen as well via BBC Sounds. It is Manchester United 2, Savilla 0, with just under 3 minutes of the first half to play. So Manchester United playing out from the back. Peter Schmeichel.
Yes, so the goal kick to Manchester United, and the Sevilla players, they look to be very confused about the previous manager's style or system and the current manager. Half the team was going back, defending that, or not defending, or even trying to get the ball off the goal kick, and the 3 front players was nearly inside the box. There was a big gap behind, and you can see they're arguing between them. Where are you? You need to help out.
Free kick for a foul on Campos on the halfway line.
I'm a little bit worried now, because the intensity has gone down a little bit. It's very important for Manchester United to keep the intensity high, keep the pace up, keep asking questions.
Anthony with Lamela, shoulder to shoulder. This is right on the edge of the penalty area. As just seen a replay of that Sabitza's challenge on Campos on the halfway line. But between them, Anthony and Lamela, shoulder to shoulder. In the end, the ball came off the Sevilla man for a goal kick to Manchester United. So 2-0 lead. The 2 early goals from Marcel Sabitzer, set up by Bruno Fernandes and Martial and Manchester United actually have gone a little quiet over the course of the last maybe 10-15 minutes in the match. Sevilla with Fernando to the right hand side. Montiel is there, forward from him. Ocampos chases it down into the full back position. Ocampos takes on Malacia to the byline, pulls it across, but the ball was already out before he was able to find the onrushing Montiel. And it is a goal kick to Manchester United. We've got our friends from Spanish radio all around us. They're behind us, in front of us. You can probably hear them. Last time I was there a few weeks ago for the Liverpool match, one of our colleagues in Madrid was telling me one of the great radio football cities in Madrid is Seville. They've got loads and loads of radio stations. They all cover football. Are absolutely mad for it, and they've come here en masse to Manchester tonight. So that's what you can hear in the background.
I've been to the press room quite a lot, and I've never in my life seen so many travelling reporters and radio people as here. It's incredible.
Yes, I managed to get into the queue to get into the up the media stairs into media reception just after they'd all arrived, so I was at the back of that particular queue. Here's Rakitic just left of the centre circle. 2-0 Manchester United lead. Ocampos looking for Montiel, but good cover from Malacia. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Malacia has got the ball. Luke Shaw, remember, out with an injury at the moment, but the feeling was from Erik ten Hag yesterday that it won't be long before he's back, as Wan-Bissaka plays it forward, but onto the chest of Acuna, and Acuna approaches the penalty area, stabs it into the box. It's worked back to him, but he slashed at it, and in any case, the run from Montiel actually, who'd come all the way across from right back, he was offside.
It's very sloppy. It's been very, very sloppy in the last 10 minutes, and it's been a little bit like it's too easy. We can, on half the energy we can win this 4-5, but that's not reality. And I don't think that Seville was nowhere near good enough to hurt this Manchester United team, but they are getting opportunities, and it's only one little slip and give a goal away. This tie is completely different to what a goal for Manchester United would be, and they need to go up and try and up the tempo, up the intensity, and then challenge this team, because there are more goals to be had.
Marcao was shoved over by Martial, so it's a free kick 10 yards inside the Manchester United half. 2 goals from Savilla, but the game's become scrappy. It's been broken up by the incidents that we've been describing, and Sevilla now are finishing the first half more strongly, but there are only seconds left. This free kick is taken short, then Acuna infield towards Rakitic, then Goodell takes a touch back to the halfway line. Montiel puts his foot on it, and then right footed to the edge of the box. Martial missed his header, but Varane was behind it. Seems okay, Varane, although he's not, again, just looking at him, he's not entirely happy. I would not be surprised if he doesn't come out for the second half. And then Anthony is surrounded by 3 players in white from Sevilla and loses possession. Last chance to attack, only seconds of the first half left. Ocampos now down the right hand side, challenge comes in on him from Casemiro, but it bounces back to Ocampos, and then Bruno Fernandes with a very important recovering challenge slides in. He's gone down lying on his back with his hands on his face, suggesting he was caught there, but it's behind for a corner.
I think he overstretched. It looks like he overstretched. Come on, Bruno.
Come on, Bruno. Come on.
Honestly, on the tackle, it's one of them where you sit back on your back leg, but
he was caught by the hand. It was the sort of fingers of Campos' left hand as he went down. He's all right. Corner then. Rakitic, the outswing. He's headed and saved brilliantly by De Gea. He headed up in the air, headed off the line, nodded back in there. Almighty scramble. Goodell hits the shot, and that's wide and behind. And the referee says,
what, goal or free kick?
He's free kick. He spotted an infringement in there, I think.
But it's precisely, John, it's precisely what I've been saying. They need to concentrate more, Manchester United. They need to play the game, play this team. It's not a very good team. It only takes one situation, and that situation was there from the corner kick. What a great save by David De Gea. Again he's proven his worth for this team.
Nianzou it was with a head of the central defender. What was he, 6 yards out, 5 yards out?
He was inside and had it not been for David De Gea, United would have gone in 2-1 up instead of 3 or 4-0 up. It's now 2-0. It should have been 3 or 4.
And then it was headed off the line. There were 2 defenders in there for Manchester United. Wan-Bissaka was one of them. And there is the half-time whistle. And the Sevilla players are unhappy with the referee. Now we've got 3, 4, 5 of them around Felix Zvaya, who has backed away with his assistant, one of his assistants, on one side of him. I think Rakitic just sent away his teammates and is the final man complaining to the referee. So there we are. And
I think the other assistant, he knew what was coming, so he's already left.
Well, he's gone.
He's gone. I can't see him anywhere.
No, but there was a case there. VAR had a look at it. Sevilla may feel that they've been wronged in several places, but remember this Lamela incident and the challenge on Casemiro that you felt could have been a red card. However, 2-0 at half-time. Marcel Sabitzer scoring both goals. It's just gone off the boil, rather, for Manchester United in the latter part of the first half. But overall, the general situation, Erik ten Hag will be very happy with in his 50th competitive match in charge of Manchester United. Half-time here, Manchester United 2, Sevilla 0. And with us here tonight on 5 Live in Old Trafford is Steve Foster. Thank you, Steve. Yes, 2-0 at half-time. Sabitzer's 2 early goals. But both teams are making a change, and as we suggested, Varane has not come out for the start of the second half, so Harry Maguire is going to come on to replace him. So he went down, Varane, was able to carry on to the end of the half, so clearly Manchester United will have to see how serious it is. But at this stage of the season, with obviously the chase for a position in the top four, an FA Cup semi-final the weekend after next, and also the Europa League and the second leg in Seville next week, it's a concern to lose a player like Varane, particularly when others are out injured at the moment, not least Rashford. But Savilla has stepped up and scored the 2 goals. Maguire is on the field now, and Savilla have made a change as well, and they've taken off Oliver Torres, who is playing on the left-hand side, and they've brought on the former Manchester City man, Jesus Navas, the 37-year-old club captain and legend, who is playing in an advanced position on the right-hand side. Very often plays as a right-back these days, but is playing in front of Montiel on the right, so Campos has gone over to the left. So the ball's out for a throw-in to Manchester United, who have De Gea in goal, a back four now of Wan-Bissaka, substitute and captain Maguire, Martinez and Malacia, Casemiro and Sabitzer, Bruno Fernandes, who has been booked, so will be suspended for the second leg, Anthony, Jadon Sancho and Anthony Martial, who started very well the first 25-30 minutes of the first half, was important in the build-up to both goals. And Sevilla now with Bono in goal, a back four of Montiel, Marcao, Nianzou and Acuna, and then Fernando and Goodell with Rakitic in the middle, and as I say, Jesus Navas on the right, Lucas Campos on the left, and Eric Lamela through the middle. And Montiel also, like Bruno Fernandes, will be suspended for the second leg. Here is Anthony now on the edge of the penalty area, left foot, not too far away of the far top left corner, just beyond on and wide, and a goal kick, and Peter Schmeichel is with us.
Yes, and that chance came up again like in the first half. A very bad kick from Bono straight out to Casemiro, who passed it inside. I'm sorry, I want a little bit more from Anthony here. Just take, he's 1-on-1 against, I can't see who that, but take him on, challenge him. He's trying that ball to the far post, and it is quite a bit out. It's about two yards out. Oh, he could have passed the ball. It's very important now that Manchester United, they up the tempo, they start playing quick, and take advantage of playing against a team that isn't very good. It's the best way I can put it.
Yep.
Score some more goals.
Erik ten Hag, I'm sure, Peter, will have got into them at half-time again. He's done that on a number of occasions, hasn't he, this season? And very often it's had the desired effect. So 2-0 the score, Manchester United. It would seem on the way to victory, but had David De Gea not made that save late in the first half from Nianzou's header, as Fernando puts in a challenge on Bruno Fernandes, and it's out of play for a throw-in. He's okay, he's back up on his feet. Yeah, important save from De Gea late in the first half, as well as Varane's header off the line as well in the follow-up. It's out of play. Bruno Fernandes just crouching down. I think he's okay. Malacia, then back to Maguire on the edge of the box. Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka passing it forward to Casemiro. Casemiro, then a touch, Anthony again, and the run is being continued by Sabitzer down the right-hand side, but showed too much of it to Fernando, who I think is going to deal with it. He does, he turns and he plays it up the line and out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United, who are attacking towards the Stretford end in the second half here, and on this dry April night, Manchester United playing it all the way back to De Gea. It is Salford 6, Castleford 6. Last we heard in the Sports Extra commentary match in the Super League, and we have BBC Radio Manchester listeners back with us on 5 Live as well for the second half. Peter?
What I want to see from Manchester United this second half is more tempo. Pass the ball around a lot quicker actually. And then I want to see Sancho and Anthony do more. It's like every time the two of them get the ball, they cut inside. Instead of challenging, by challenging, you can get into really good positions, but you can also get free kicks in and around the box.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes was dispossessed centre field by two Sevilla men, and now Campos is bringing it forward down the left-hand side into the penalty area, then cuts back, plays it back centrally. Rakitic is there, square to Goodell, just has looked one way, then turns back and looks the other. Sevilla in their white shirts with the red numbers, white shorts and red socks, against Manchester United in the red, black and black in terms of shirts, shorts and socks. Rakitic playing it to Lamela on the edge of the penalty area. Lamela, who might have been sent off in the first half. Rakitic and then back to the right hand side. Jesus Navas' ball across, deflected, bounces down and is volleyed away to comparative safety by Bruno Fernandes. And Jesus Navas showing us, reminding us what he's capable of on the right.
It's a little bit too easy for Sevilla to create that opportunity across from Navas on the right hand side. It was well defended, I have to say, but he shouldn't have been allowed. And this is what I'm saying, Man United needs to up it now. They need to up the tempo, concentrate more, keep the ball, and actually play this team. I can only repeat what I'm saying. I've been saying a lot. It's not a good team. They're only 2-0 up. 2-1 is not a great result. Absolutely not. This should be 3 or 4.
Sevilla playing the ball up to Campos, but Bruno Fernandes with a touch and not. Lisandro Martinez passing it back to De Gea, who clears long from the ground over the top of Sancho, and it drifts out of play for a throw-in down the left. Yeah, I can sense Manchester United supporters wanting to see more from Sancho and from Anthony. Garnacho, who's been the pick of the three really, hasn't he, this season, the young man, but is out injured at the moment, isn't an option today. Alanga is on the bench. There's no McTominay, if you weren't listening in the first half. He's got a slight injury, so isn't involved at all as Sevilla play the ball back through Montiel to goalkeeper Bono. Left footed, looking awkward, I must say. Jesus Navas, however, is able to keep it in play and head it in field. And now Lamela with the black gloves on, the former Tottenham man, turns away from Savilla and then finds Rakitic, and Rakitic passes the ball to Campos on the left hand side. Campos now, there's the overlapping run from the Argentine Acuna, but it was dealt with well by Wan-Bissaka, who was able to put it out for a throw.
There's one player you don't get past so easy, that's Wan-Bissaka. So quite happy they're attacking over there, because we're struggling there. United are struggling a little bit on the left defensive side. Malanga hasn't got much support from Sancho, and we saw before Navas having that cross. Man United, they need to do something also to get the crowd going, because it's gone quiet, it's gone flat, and it shows on the pitch.
Yeah, the Manchester United fans in that corner where all of the anti-Glazer banners were before the match, I can hear them, but the rest of the place is quiet. And the Sevilla section to our right, clapping their hands in unison, around about 700 of them in their little section, surrounded by yellow-jacketed stewards after the problems there were when Betis were here for the previous match at Old Trafford in this competition. Manchester United leading 2-0. The winners of this would play either Juventus or Sporting, and that is currently 0-0 in the first leg. Maguire does well, takes two Sevilla men out of the game on the halfway line, passes it forward to Sancho, and then Malacia, the return pass from Sancho, has actually took a deflection off Montiel. No, it didn't, in fact. It just miskicked by Sancho, who then kicks up the ground in frustration, and that, I'm afraid, rather sums things up for Sancho when things aren't going his way.
Yeah, it's all I can say is it's sloppy. He gets the ball. It's very, very good play by Maguire. And when he came out for his warm-up, he got the best reception he could imagine. If anyone thinks he's not a popular person here, they you should have been for that, or should have been here for that. He did really well, passed it to Sancho, who challenged. I'm thinking, yes, this is what I want to see. And then he was overlapped by Malacia, and then it's just sloppy, not concentrating on the pass.
Well, here he is, Maguire. Started every match for England this season, including every match at the World Cup. But for Manchester United, 13 starts and now 13 substitute appearances as Bruno Fernandes loses out in the challenge, but it bounced to Casemiro, who's able to find Sancho. Now then, Jadon Sancho. He beats Fernando, and then into the penalty area on the left-hand side, but goes down very, very easily. There's little contact there from Montiel, who very pointedly, stops in his tracks, just scampers around in front of Sancho, and very pointedly helps him to his feet. goal kick for Sevilla.
That's now twice in 2 minutes. He's had the same opportunity to challenge with the pace and the technique that he's got. He's got to do better. I'm sorry about that. He has got to do better. And for me, it's just not focusing and concentrating well enough.
Jadon Sancho at Borussia Dortmund, when he looked to be one of the brightest prospects in Europe, that Jadon Sancho would have taken on Montiel there.
He would, and we've seen it. We've seen it earlier on in the season. Yep. We've seen him do that. And I don't know if it's lack of confidence. There's no reason for that because he's playing, he's starting games. He's got absolutely no reason not to have any confidence. The manager believes in him. He's giving him opportunities. He's managed him individually and helped him. So I don't know why he should be out of confidence.
Malacia stumbled, slipped, overran the ball, committed a foul, conceded a free kick. Sevilla back into this. Sevilla, this game, it looks, in terms of the scoreline, 2-0 to Manchester United, it looks comfortable, but Sevilla, I think, can sense that there might be an opportunity for them in this game, in this second half. And where they're able to get a goal and then keep Manchester United out at the other end, it is still very live for the second leg in Spain in a week's time. A couple of ifs in that sentence though, Peter, you might have noticed.
But anything can happen in this game. We've already seen that. A corner kick right at the death of half-time. It was brilliantly saved by De Gea. It went up in the air. It was headed back. And the last thing that Varane did for his team today was to save it bang on the line. It was 2 chances in one. It could have been 2-1 at half-time, and it would have made for a completely different game if that was a result for next week.
Throw in for Sevilla to the edge of the penalty area, but Casemiro stepped across, and Casemiro passes it forward into the path of Antony, and Antony now has space in front of him. Nianzou comes across, and Antony checks back onto his left foot, plays it across field, and it bounces all the way to Bruno Fernandes. But Sevilla have now got everyone back. Bruno Fernandes though plays it in, a dangerous dipping ball that Bono, the goalkeeper, dealt with well. Actually just dropped down to his left and gathered it.
Yeah, Antony hasn't got the pace to run past anyone. We've seen that a couple of times in this half, and what he then does is to cut inside.
Here's Montiel taking it to the edge of the Manchester United penalty area, but then he didn't have the end product and passed it straight to Martinez. However, Sancho loses it, and now Jesus Navas, and Jesus Navas' cross, overhead kick, and it's and the overhead kick actually by Goodell has actually caught Casemiro in the face, who has gone spiralling down, and for that it's a yellow card for Goodell for dangerous play.
Yeah, and I agree with the referee. And welcome back to football, Casemiro. That's twice now. First Lamela, and now, it's a yellow card for sure. It's for sure.
Yeah, so free kick to Manchester
United. But again, it's happening on the left-hand side. They're not defending well on the left-hand side. The cross comes in from the left-hand defending side, I have to say, and it comes from no support from Sancho.
That's a problem for Manchester United.
It is a very big problem. Yeah. It's not so bad on the other side because the defender there is Van Bissaka. So of course Antony has to come down and come back and help him defend. But Van Bissaka is just one of the best defenders ever, I think. And you don't get past him easily.
2-0 Manchester United lead. 5 Live, Radio Manchester, BBC Sounds, and in steps Nianzou in the centre circle, but it bounces back from Manchester United, but then Fernando's in place, and Fernando, 3 years at Manchester City, is able to turn the ball back to goalkeeper Bono. Those were mainly the Pellegrini years for Fernando as a Manchester City man. Now the ball is passed forward from the back by Fernando, but it bounces off Jesus Navas, and here's Sancho again, another chance for him to run at the Sevilla defence. Uses Antony's shot on the turn is blocked. Martial juggling with it on the edge of the penalty area. Still Martial, a change of feet. It's very congested in there, and then down goes Marcao. Wanted the free kick. Martial in on the challenge, and the referee has brought it back and given the free kick Sevilla's way.
Yeah, Antony got the chance. He's just a little bit too far ahead of the goal, trying to kick it first time, but it was blocked, and then Martial got the ball. Actually did quite well, but there was no space, and eventually he lost the ball and conceded a free kick. And I think we're going to see I think he said 3. He put 3 fingers up, 3 substitutions.
Okay.
So we're going to see Dekos, Eriksson, and is it Elanga? Yeah, I think Elanga coming on.
Needs something at the moment, doesn't it?
Something needs to change for sure. I think. I mean, if I am the manager, I'd consider taking Sancho off because it's not working. It's not working on the other side. But if you take 2 wingers off, how are you going to play then?
Still 2-0 Manchester United. Anthony on the far side concedes a throw into Savilla, and Rakitic passing it forward, bounces off Wan-Bissaka. Maguire comes across, and now Savitzer goes to ground, and the referee says, I think he says that Sabitzer's handballed it on the ground. Free kick taken quickly. They might have wasted that. They have. Eric Lamella's waving his arms around. They wanted to take a quick free kick, and Lamella wasn't ready for it. Now Malacia passes it out from the back to Sancho, who slips over, and then Jesus Navas to Rakitic, out to the right hand side. Montiel angles it back towards the edge of the penalty area, is stretched away by Casemiro, and then Bruno Fernandes is put under pressure. He loses it. Fernando now, Jesus Navas. Sevilla are interested here. They sense that there might be a chance, and then Montiel with a cross comes up ahead of Jesus Navas, and a stretch and a clearance on the volley from Wan-Bissaka for Manchester United. And then Martial, Wan-Bissaka, forward pass from Wan-Bissaka. Anthony now, if you can see the run of Sancho in the middle. Anthony still into the box, still going, beats the defender, left foot shot hits the bar, and then it's chested down and eventually cleared away. So close for Anthony there, and that would have given it a completely different look.
It would have. It really is a great move. Again, Martial did really well. The ball was cleared, and under pressure he got the ball down, made a great turn and passed it out to Anthony. And this time he had the pace to go all the way up to the box and create the chance for himself. And it's so unlucky. It hits the inside of the bar, inside of the right-hand post, just under the bar. And now it's Sanchez coming off, Martial is coming off, and Bruno Fernandes coming off.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes. I think maybe Eric Ten Hag is just concerned here. He's on a yellow card in this match. He'll be suspended next week. I wonder if that was a concern here, that there is that potential of being reduced to 10 men, and it is quite combative in that central midfield. But Eriksson is on, having of course just come back. There was a fear at one stage that he wasn't going to be able to play again this season with this ankle problem, but he's back and he's on the field again.
It's brilliant to see him back playing, and the combination of Casemiro and Eriksson early on in the season were fantastic. I don't think many people would have thought that it would work so well so quickly, but he's back. Eriksson is a great player. It's a great bonus for Man United to have him back. I considered I thought maybe he'd consider taking Casemiro off, because he's also on a yellow card and would miss the next game if he was booked today. So he's still on the pitch.
Sancho, I think, really struggling in this match, and I think it was an inevitability that he would leave. So Sancho is off the field, and Elanga, who's come on that side, heads it infield, comes back to Casemiro to Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka now releases it for Anthony, who's just recently hit the crossbar. Anthony into the penalty area again, a step over, and then couldn't pull it back. Goodell passes it away, and then it's cleared away. Salford 12, Castleford 6 is the latest score in the Sports Extra Super League commentary match.
So there was a threat of a substitution, and since he actually believed he was going to be substituted, and since then he's been really good. He's hit the post, and this time he didn't cut back inside of the box. He actually went right and tried to pull it back for Eriksson, who was coming into the box. It was just a little bit too soft, and it was intercepted. The pass was intercepted.
Still 2-0 Manchester United, and Eriksson shouts for free kick for a challenge on Casemiro, but Manchester United coming down the right hand side. So Martial is off. So Martial, Bruno Fernandes and Sancho are off. So Wout Weghorst is on, and now there's been a bit of a flare up on the far side of the field. The ball just ran away from Anthony, and then it rolled. Well, did it roll over the white line? The assistant gave out as a throw, and then Anthony and and Acuna have squared up together and bounced their chests together, and then various players, 3 or 4 from each side, were involved. And this depends how the referee is going to see this. Felix Savilla, the German referee, and Anthony and Acuna. Just
as I'm praising him, he's then trying to do a trick that doesn't come off, and then he loses the ball. And actually, he's actually kicking, he's lashing out at Acuna. And
Bono's clearances charged down by Weghorst, who gets a huge ovation. The ball's bounced back out of play for a goal kick. But I think that's what Manchester United supporters inside the ground want to see.
Exactly, and this is going to help enormously that he did that. You can hear it straight away. The crowd gets up, and that's what I like about Weghorst. He's chasing lost courses, and he knows this goalkeeper is not comfortable kicking the ball. We've already seen that. He's had 3 missed kicks on his left foot, his favourite foot, and this time it was to his right. Why not put pressure on him? And he got the crowd going there.
Yeah, listen, he might not be Cristiano Ronaldo, Wout Weghorst, but Erik ten Hag knew what he was getting when he brought Wout Weghorst here. Certainly not weight of goals, he's just got a couple. But that's the sort of thing in this match, in these circumstances, that Manchester United need. And here he is now. We've seen him all over the pitch in the games that he's played, and he's back almost in the right back area now, putting in a challenge to put it out of play.
Yeah, he infuses a lot of energy, and this is what's been needing since 28 minutes, 29 minutes of the first half. It went flat. No one was doing anything, and when a player like him comes on the pitch and he's running everywhere, he might not be the best player when he gets the ball, but that's very important at times, and that time for Manchester United is now.
That's Peter Schmeichel with us on 5 Live and BBC Radio Manchester, and Sevilla making a change. This is interesting. En-Nesyri, their top scorer, is coming on now, replacing Eric Lamela, similarly like Bruno Fernandes, on a yellow card in this match. So I think the coach, Mendilibar, perhaps thinking about that, but also the goal presence of the Moroccan World Cup player as Manchester United break forward, but the referee's brought it back for a foul and a free kick for a challenge on Montiel. So it's a free kick to Sevilla inside their own half. Also in the Europa League tonight, by the way, Union Saint-Gilloise have taken the lead. They're winning 1-0 in Germany against Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen. It is still Juventus 0, Sporting 0 on this side of the draw. The winners of this match will play the winners of that one in the semi-final. And earlier, if you haven't heard, Jose Mourinho's Roma lost 1-0 against Feyenoord in the Netherlands in what last season was the final of the Europa Conference League. And in the Conference League tonight, Montiel is still down incidentally. Latest scores: Basel 1, Nice 2, Anderlecht 1, AZ Alkmaar 0, Lech Poznan 1, Fiorentina 4, after it finished Ghent 1, West Ham 1 earlier. Montiel's still down, Peter.
It's embarrassing, I'm sorry, it really is embarrassing. I don't know, they're 2-0 down. They might be thinking that 2-0 is a great result to take back to Sevilla, but this is time wasting, absolute time waste. I've just seen that situation twice. Look, we're seeing it again here. Mm-hmm. He's gone down because Weghorst has touched his chin very lightly, and he's actually been lying for about 60 seconds, and the referee's just told him to come up, and now he's walking to the referee complaining. I don't know what he's trying to achieve, but he's wasted 2 minutes.
Now he's worried. Where's he going? Oh no, that's Acuna. So Montiel has to leave the field. He's received treatment.
From the referee's telling him to leave the field.
Well,
I mean, this is embarrassing. Do the players not know that we've got, super slow motion, and we've got close-ups and everything? We see everything on camera now, don't we?
Yeah.
And they're still doing it.
Unless Sevilla just felt the time was there. The changes have been made for Manchester United, and they have been revitalised by the changes, that just to break the play up. And they've certainly done that, haven't they? Well, that's a lengthy stoppage. That's got to add on possibly as many as 2 minutes at the end of the match for that incident alone. Manchester United are leading Sevilla by 2-0. in what is their 28th quarter-final in the various European competitions. Bounces back, Weghorst on the edge of the area, but Montiel comes across and is able to volley it away. Nipping in there at pace, seems to have shaken off the knock that he took and blasted out of play for a throw into Manchester United next to the corner flag. I'm sure Erik ten Hag, who's not on the edge of the coaching area at the moment, you know, he would love another goal. He would love a 3-goal cushion to take to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan next Thursday night. You'll hear that on 5 Live. Throw in then.
The opportunity is still there. There's 20 minutes to go. And you're right, the substitutions, it's helped United they look better now. The crowd is more noisy, all of that. Old Trafford, big European night. The last 20 minutes, it should be another goal here, at least another goal.
Manchester United playing to the edge of the area. Weghorst then touches it back to Malacia, thought about the shot. Now to the left-hand side to Elanga. Never scored at Old Trafford, Elanga. Be a good time to start for Manchester United. Here's Eriksen, edge of the area, slips it forward, but Elanga couldn't reach that, was cutting in field, and the Eriksen pass just runs through for a goal kick. So Manchester United 2, Sevilla 0. Tomorrow, by the way, the Aintree Grand National meeting has begun, and we'll have coverage on 5 Live tomorrow afternoon from 2 o'clock. The football social tomorrow night, Darren Fletcher with the big build-up to the weekend's football. Warrington Wiggins on Sports Extra, and 5 Live on Saturday. Mark Chapman will be at Aintree, having been at the Masters last weekend. He'll be at Aintree on Saturday. Commentary on the Grand National. Everton, Fulham, Manchester City, Leicester. That's all on Saturday afternoon. And then Manchester United's match at Nottingham Forest is one of our commentaries on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Bono clearing from the ground. Wan-Bissaka swings a leg at it, bounces for Acuna on the left-hand side. Acuna comes in field, busy little Argentine, passes it forward. Maguire at the back, he passes it back to Anthony on the right-hand side. Came close to scoring that 3rd goal for Manchester United in this match. Anthony's gone down. Now that must have been after the ball had gone. Yep, yellow card is shown to Acuna, and I think that was some little while after the ball had gone. Yeah, he was dragged back, and then there might have been a little foot, from Acuna on.
Definitely revenge from the incident before.
Yeah,
the ball was well gone, and it kind of looks like he stamps on him, but we haven't seen it in close-up. But the ball was so far away, and rightly so, he's been booked for that. But that was revenge for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So both of the Argentine World Cup winning fullbacks in this Sevilla team have been booked. And interestingly, the replay that was shown, it was out of shot. He might have got away with that. You would have thought that one of these television cameras, if there was something untoward, would have spotted it. And now Mark Cow has headed the ball out of play. And actually that's given us a free kick to Sevilla. A challenge from Sabitzer, who was everywhere in the early stages of the match, Sabitzer.
That's not really a free kick. If anything, it would be a free kick to Manchester United.
Another change for Sevilla. Nianzou, the central defender, the young Frenchman, is coming off the field. And, interesting decision that for the free kick that goes Sevilla's way for Sabitzer. Sort of challenging with his shoulder, while Marcao was 3 feet off the ground, heading it away. The latest change for Sevilla sees Nianzou come off, and Karim Rekic, I beg your pardon, Suso, is it Suso coming on? Yeah, the number 7, Suso, the former Liverpool youngster actually, who scored against Manchester United back in the semi-final of the Europa League, when they last played each other, that one-off match behind closed doors in the semi-final. Suso, and here he is on the right-hand side. The number 7 on his back, the curling number 7, then trying to feed it forward to Jesus Navas, but Malacia went to ground, knocked it out of play. Still 2-0, less than 20 minutes of this first leg to play. Comfortable enough for Manchester United, but it just has that feel that there is this vulnerability, potentially. Right-footed cross from Montiel, blocked away on the edge of the penalty area. Then Manchester United do clear. Casemiro's there, hit it into a Sevilla player. Jesus Navas now up to En-Nesyri on the edge of the box, all legs and arms, but he couldn't get it down under control. And Rakitic normally doesn't have that problem. Suso turns 360 degrees, uses Montiel. Jesus Navas now on the right hand side, the 37-year-old curls it into the near post. That's cleared away by Martinez. Rakitic inside the penalty area, back out to the right to Jesus Navas, and now Suso left-footed ball curling into the back post. Wan-Bissaka was there in the right place to head it away. The danger was there. Campos was behind him. Still Sevilla press here, playing towards the east stand to our right, and then Anthony bumped off the ball and it bounces out of play for a throw into Sevilla, who are having a good spell.
It's that duel again, isn't it? Acuna up against Anthony, and they're arguing. Anthony, he gets pushed. He wants a free kick now. He's got to be careful. He's got to be careful because
Acuna's giving him a little bit back there.
Absolutely.
He's taunting him, Acuna, and then Anthony with a challenge. It's the two of them together. The Manchester United fans in that corner are wise to this. It's put out of play, but it's a throw into Sevilla. And certainly it's just got that feel that a Sevilla goal is entirely possible.
Yeah, it's closing in on. They've had a couple of really, really good crosses put into the box, and the last one, thank God for Wan-Bissaka turning over on the back post to get another cross in now. That's not a very good cross.
Yeah, I think all of the Spanish commentators are turning up the volume. Rakitic goes for a volley from 25 yards, and actually that's helped Manchester United. That's relieved the pressure. It was powder puff, and it drifted away over the top of the crossbar and behind for a goal kick to Manchester United.
And it's all very well now to take a little bit of the sting out of it, take some time on this goal kick, but once they get going, pass the ball around a little bit quicker when you get up, halfway up the pitch. Savilla, they are defending very, very high. Put a ball in behind, let somebody run into that space. Alanga, for instance.
Yep, that's what Alanga wants. And actually Manchester United do finally get over the halfway line. 2-0, Erik ten Hag's team lead in this first leg of this Europa League quarter-final. Elanga takes on, beats the defender who's stayed down. Malacia on the edge of the box. He's still down. Montiel, I think it is. Ball crossfield from the left-hand side from Eriksson. Cleared out. Wan-Bissaka. Casemiro, 25 yards from goal. Now Malacia puts his foot on the ball. Curls it in beautifully beyond Weghorst though, who then, turning to his right, couldn't keep the ball in play. And it's a goal kick. And this is Montiel, who was down, remember, earlier, after getting the hand in the face from Weghorst, and referee Savilla, I think, has rather played to the crowd there. He ran over towards Montiel across the diagonal of the pitch and obviously shouted to him, "Get up, Gonzalo, there's nothing wrong with you," which he then did.
Second time in 8 minutes that he's been down play acting, and actually he stayed down for all of that attack. And if there's a little bit of criticism to go Weghorst's way as a number 9, is that he doesn't sniff out those opportunities. That was a great cross into the back stick, and he should have been there. A good goal scorer would have smelled that. And again, we've just seen that he's not at the end of them.
Yep, just the 2 goals for about Weghorst so far in his Manchester United career, and this is his 21st appearance. 2 goals, yet to score in the Premier League, but as we say, he's done lots of good things as well. But if Manchester United are talking about Harry Kane or one of the top goal scorers, then that's the direction that they're moving in. But obviously the future direction of the ownership of the club is wrapped up in all of that. And Manchester United coming forward through the middle with Sabitzer, still on the hat-trick of course, and Wan-Bissaka does well centrally and then passes the ball across the surface of the Old Trafford pitch to Malacia, who's into the box on the left-hand side. Low ball right across the penalty area, but that's shoveled away by Acuna, who went to ground and cleared it, and Sevilla, Campos couldn't keep it in, and it's out for a throw-in to Manchester United.
That was a really good move, John. The ball was first time all the way from the back up to Malacia, who then took the ball into the penalty box on the left-hand side. I think his selection of pass was the wrong one. He tried to put a flat one in. He should have dinged it into the back stick. 2 Man United players were in there. but it was a good move, and this is what they should be doing now. We're trying
it down. Elanga, Savilla and Malacia and Elanga, and just Elanga got his pass wrong out to the left. It's straight out of play for a throw-in to Savilla. By the way, on the subject of the Manchester United sale, if you hadn't heard it, worth having a listen to our How to Buy a Football Club podcast, which is available on BBC Sounds, updated regularly. The Euro League's podcast is on there as well, usually on a Thursday night, so you can find that on Sounds. And of course, the Football Daily podcast, the 5 Live Football Daily in the morning, download for free with, we would hope, some reaction from this match from Eric Ten Hag and whoever. Here's Anthony again on the right hand side, but Savilla win it back. Palistri's going to come on shortly for Manchester United. And then Jesus Navas, I think, has caught his studs in the pitch and has fallen rather awkwardly, and that's quite a nasty one actually. I don't think he's putting it on. He could have, if he'd been able to take the ball into his stride. He just got his feet wrong and he went over on his ankle, just caught his studs. I mean, they're crowing, of course, former Manchester City man, but he's okay, I'm pleased to say. He's back up on his feet. They'll need him next week as well, incidentally, with Montiel suspended for the second leg. So the 5th Manchester United change sees Palistri, the Uruguayan World Cup player, come on for Anthony. So that's it. He's been in and out, hasn't he, tonight?
Yeah, it's been a mixed bag with him, as literally all of these games has been. He's done some really, really good things, created 2 chances for himself. One hit the post, very unlucky, and then again he stopped a lot of opportunities by not being more direct, where he's cut inside and not concentrated on the pass. It's frustrating to see someone with that talent not getting more out of it, but I think he's been substituted now because Acuna has gotten to him, and I think Eric Ten Hag is just a little bit afraid of keeping him on the pitch.
Yeah, probably best course of action. So Palistri is on in the early days of his Manchester United career, and here he is now, the Uruguayan with the jet black hair, crossing the ball, bounces across the box. Weghorst, Malacia takes a couple of touches and shoots right into the legs of Fernando, and Weghorst there in the goal with his back to goal. I can think of plenty of strikers who would have turned there and whipped it into the net, but unselfishly played it back to Malacia. Corner results.
Well done, Palestri's first move. He actually got the ball on the goal line, crossed a little soft cross to Savilla, who backheeled it to Weghorst, who's right in front of goal, but with his back turned to goal, and he then rolled it to Malacia, who, there was no way. There was 5 Seville players in front of him. He had no chance really.
Corner swung in from the right hand side by Eriksson, but headed out wide of the near post for a second consecutive Manchester United corner. Christian Eriksen.
What a big change a Manchester United goal would be now for next week.
Oh, massive. They'd be such strong favourites. Eriksen, this is a deep one in, and Casemiro got it well, but headed it over the top. There was half an appeal from Casemiro, suggesting it might have been a deflection off the defender who was with him, Fernando, but it is a goal kick that is given. But we've got now, Peter, 7 minutes, a little over 7 minutes plus added time to play.
Should be a lot of added time. That 2-minute spell where
Montiel.
It was Montiel, yeah, he was on the ground there. That should be added on, but you just never know.
Remember, the home matches in the knockout stages, Sevilla have won 3-0 against PSV and 2-0 against Fenerbahce. But Manchester United will, it seems, be without Rashford next week and Bruno Fernandes for that second leg. All of the matches next week, the Champions League games, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll hear them all on 5 Live on the Europa League. If you haven't heard, West Ham drew 1-1 in their first leg against Ghent in the Conference League earlier. Here's Jesus Navas on the right hand side. Jesus Navas curling it in, and Naziri got a touch on that, bounces back out to Ocampos. Now centrally, Fernando is there, he curls it into the box, Malacia allows it to go. Jesus Navas plays it across, and it hits the air and bounces in. A fatal hesitation by Malacia, and Jesus Navas this. The Sevilla captain, the former Manchester City man, took advantage, and his cross went in for an own goal off David De Gea, hit his body, flew into the net, and there is the goal. There's the goal that Old Trafford feared and Sevilla hoped for. Manchester United 2, Sevilla 1.
What a difference a goal for Seville is making to the return leg. This is what I've been fearing, and it's, again, I'll use the word sloppy. Malacia, what is he doing? The cross is coming in, he's not under pressure, he can clear the ball very, very easily, and he's trying to dummy Navas and pretend that he's kicking it away, but he didn't fall for it to go out for a goal kick. Didn't fall for it, and he crosses the ball, it comes off Malacia, off David De Gea, and in the back of the net. What a terrible goal to concede so late in the game, in a game where Manchester United should have been in full control. Now it's completely different matter.
That is a terrible goal to concede. Terrible goal. And Manchester United have got a problem because there's a player down who's been surrounded by all of the players on the field.
Savilla, isn't it?
So there's a bit of concern here from both sets of players. For it is Savilla, is it? Or is it Martinez? Martinez.
Is it Martinez?
Yeah, who's whether it's a bang on the head or what's happened there. And Martinez just pulled up. This is a big problem for Manchester United. There wasn't a challenge on him, it seemed, and he turned and then he's grabbed his right ankle.
It looks like he's pulled something. There's no challenge. He's trying.
Oh, they're having to carry him off the field. I mean, that's it. If this is as serious as it looks,
Seville players are carrying him off the pitch.
Yeah,
because they want him off. They are now smelling that they can get another goal.
Well, there's an irony in this. After they've
and it's a one defender you don't want off the pitch now.
Made all 5 changes.
That looks that doesn't look good.
No, that's a big problem. Manchester United chasing this success. They've already got the Carabao Cup. They're looking to win this competition and the FA Cup. And Martinez, who's been one of the best players, this on the evidence of what we've seen, this could be it for him for the rest of the season.
Well, let's not jump the gun on that one yet. But it looked very, very because there was no contact to anyone, and he literally just pulled up. It looks not right, but sometimes things like that happens, and it's not too bad. But well,
that does not look good.
No, I'm hoping.
And so 2-1 the score now. 2-1 to Manchester United. Sevilla are all over this. Manchester United are having to play with 10 men after Martinez has gone off. Jesus Navas with the cross that's come off the back of Ericsson, bounces out of play, and now we're in a situation here. We're in the 87th minute that Manchester United could be just hanging on here to take any sort of win to Seville and the south of Spain next Thursday night. Ocampos turns, gives it back. Suso's onto this, left-footed ball into the edge of the area. Savilla was there to clear it away, and Manchester United had all 10 men back in their defensive third. Meanwhile, they continue to look at Lisandro Martinez down on the side of the pitch with this problem with, might be his ankle, might be his calf, might be his shin, whatever it is. He's on a stretcher there, but the play continues with now 2.5 minutes of the 90 to play. Plenty of added time, as we suspect.
3 minutes ago I was hoping for 6-7 minutes. Now I'm hoping for 1 added on. This is tough. Seville they really are smelling an opportunity here, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Manchester United.
Jesus Navas plays it into the penalty area. Rakitic has won it back from Savilla. Now Suso on the edge of the area, went down, threw himself down. Vegos with a challenge. No free kick. Referee Savilla wasn't buying that one. Ericsson, no, his challenge. Bounces back. Casemiro, who's gone back into central defence, incidentally, with Martinez off the field. And now Lisandro Martinez is on the stretcher, and he's been carried away in front of the Sir Bobby Charlton stand where we're sitting, down to the tunnel, and he's getting an ovation, a standing ovation, with Manchester United supporters hoping for the best but fearing the worst. And Sevilla now coming forward. Ocampos Campos carrying the ball all the way to the right hand side. Elanga puts in the challenge. Campos' shot, that's blocked. His cross is blocked, bounces back. Montiel angles it. Souza on the edge of the area, left-footed shot, curls, and De Gea pats it away, punches it away, just in front of his face really. And then there's a challenge by Weghorst, and that's a free kick to Sevilla, out towards the left hand side, 25 yards from goal. And they're going to make another change. Jose Luis Mendilibar, the coach, is going to bring on another forward, Papu Gomez, another of the Argentina World Cup winning squad. The experienced 35-year-old is going to come on, but a free kick in a good position. And the yellow
it all comes off a shot from distance that De Gea was punching away. And I understand at times that you can be thinking about not trying to catch it because you're a little bit uncertain. But it wasn't a difficult shot. He punched it out, and it's now ended up in a free kick from 35 yards, and not even maybe 30 yards.
And a debatable yellow card for Pellistri. I'm sure there was a great deal in that. But he's on anyway, Papu Gomez, and it's the right back Montiel who's off. He's finally off the field, Peter.
Yeah, well, he's been suffering all day, hasn't he?
So the number 24 is on. Mendilibar is using now all the ammunition that he can. But it's a free kick. Gudelj is going to take this, the Serbian World Cup player, right-footed into the wall, bounces down. Back to Sevilla. We're in the 90th minute. In fact, the 90 minutes are almost up. 6 minutes of added time. Manchester United 2, Sevilla 1 is the score after Sevilla got a goal back in the 84th minute. Now the ball is played forward on the left-hand side. Here's the cross. And Naziri with a header. And it's saved by De Gea to his right. A fine header, bounced up, and he leapt to his right, the Manchester United goalkeeper, to palm it round for a corner.
That was a really, really good save. And not only is it a good save, what an important save as well. He was involved in the goal in some way, but there he redeemed himself for sure.
Corner is taken short. In comes the cross from the left-hand side, which is blocked behind by Elanga. Another corner, second consecutive corner. That's an important save late in the first half from De Gea, and another one late in the second half from the Manchester United goalkeeper. But Sevilla 2-0 down, are looking to draw level here at the end of this first leg. And the referee is saying, hang on a minute, what's happened? There's a bit of pushing and shoving. Naziri, who was just denied a few moments ago by De Gea, is involved with Savilla. So here is the corner then. Corner from the left-hand side for Sevilla. They take it short near the left corner of the box. Pellistri with the challenge. And then it's worked back by Rakitic. And then in comes the cross from the left-hand side. Marcao was still in there, cleared away by Manchester United. Sevilla now with a Campos right-footed cross, and Naziri with a header, it's deflected in! It's 2-2! And Sevilla have come from 2-0 down, and this quarter-final tie now looks completely different. Two late goals. It came off Harry Maguire, and Naziri with the initial header, but it hit Maguire and bounced agonisingly to the right of De Gea. He couldn't get there, and it's 2-2.
Oh, you cannot believe that has just happened. It's an okay cross, but it's way out. It's nearly on the edge of the box, and it was headed. De Gea went for the header. That would never have gone in, and it hits Harry Maguire on the head, deflects into the right-hand side of the goal. Absolutely no chance for De Gea in that situation. But my God, this isn't great. It's not. This is terrible. And I have to say, it's been coming. You know, we cannot have any complaint about
a slip from Malacia. Now Sevilla are thinking about winning this, Peter. En-Nesyri, who's just scored. I'm not sure if it'll go down as an En-Nesyri goal or a Harry Maguire own goal, in all honesty. It might have been on target. I'm not sure, but it was a massive deflection off the head of Harry Maguire. I mean, if that is an own goal, that's two own goals.
That's two own goals. I'm not sure. We haven't seen it from behind the goal yet, but the way that De Gea reacted to it suggests that it would have gone in.
I think it was on target. but it might not have been. And it came in the 3rd minute of added time. Now we've got a stoppage. Malacia, he struggled. Yeah,
he's not had a good game.
No, when they've been under pressure and the Campos have collided, so they're both down.
And it's all about how you're building up in the game and how you're being supported. And yes, it's been supported on the inside by Martinez, but Sancho hasn't helped him, and it's made Malacia uncertain all game long. Let's see. Oh no, this is that's actually going like 6-7 yards wide. This is definitely an own goal.
Okay. So that's 2 own goals.
Yeah, it's 2 own goals. And again, it's not clearing the box. So from the corner kick, they stay inside the box. They stay on the penalty spot, sort of that line. When Varane's playing, he takes them out straight away. They stayed in, and the ball came over to the right-hand side from that cross, and yet they still stayed and put no pressure on the cross. And it wasn't a great cross, and we've just seen it now. It wasn't even a great header. It's 2 very, very bad goals to concede.
But Peter, there was that feeling that it was coming. They've not convinced Manchester United, and Savilla, who at one stage seemed to be very happy to keep it at 2-0, now find themselves back at 2-2. So Manchester United in the first half scored their 2 goals in 7 minutes, and Savilla have scored their 2 goals in 8 minutes, as United send it forward and long but into the arms of Bono, and still we play on here. 5 minutes now, we're in the 5th minute of added time. First the David De Gea own goal. I mean, I see that's been credited to Jesus Navas. They can't give that to Jesus Navas. It hit Malacia, then hit De Gea and went in. I think that's a De Gea own goal.
It was going backwards, so that's got to be changed.
Yeah, that's got to be changed, and you feel, I have the feeling as well, that that's going to be Harry Maguire own goal.
That's definitely an own goal. Yeah. I mean, not that Harry Maguire knew anything or could do anything about it. It was a terrible header. It would have gone, 6-7 yards wide, for sure. And it was from distance as well. So even had it been on target, it would have been an easy pick-up for De Gea. But United can have no complaints. You have to do the job on the pitch. You have to take those opportunities that are on the pitch. And in all fairness, Seville was a very, very poor team in the first half.
Yeah. We're in the 6th minute of added time now. Sevilla coming again down the left-hand side with the substitute Gomez, who wins a corner. Another corner for Sevilla. And all of the Spanish radio commentators behind us and in front of us are getting very excited about this. The prospect that Sevilla might snatch this. Manchester United are on a 24-match unbeaten run here at Old Trafford in all competitions. But Sevilla have come from nowhere, and now the corner is taken in deep to the back post, and Marcao, in fact it was Marcao who got there, has headed it wide of the back post.
So it's every chance they've had, and they've had quite a few now, has come from corner kicks. So there's something to work on the training ground for Ten Hag. John, it's not been good. It's been a bit embarrassing here.
That's been a terrible capitulation
towards the end of the game, and my worry is that it's that easy to shake the Manchester United players.
Yeah, there it is. There's the final whistle. Well, on Friday in La Liga, Sevilla were winning 2-0 almost into added time. Celta Vigo scored 2 goals and it finished 2-2. Now here in the first leg of the quarter-final, when we thought Sevilla were concentrating on their perilous position at the bottom of La Liga, Manchester United so comfortable in the early stages of this match. Savilla scored 2 goals. It looked inevitable that United would score another one, win this, take a healthy lead to southern Spain next Thursday night. But the jitters started, and Manchester United's performance dropped off. And then in the final minutes, I mean, you could almost not write what happened there in the 2 own goals of De Gea and Harry Maguire, and the first leg is finished 2-2. Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah, and it's a fair enough result, the way that it developed in the second half. I would still claim that Manchester United and the players of Manchester United have missed a very, very big opportunity here. And Bruno Fernandes has gone back onto the pitch. He's complaining to the referee. I have no idea what he's complaining about. And that's kind of been a theme, There's too many things going on instead of doing the work, I'm not saying that Bruno is responsible, but there's a few players today of their performances. They need to have a serious look at themselves and what their contribution to the team is. Are they doing enough? Am I working hard enough? And am I thinking about, when I get the ball, am I concentrating enough? What can I do? How can I help the team? And there's a few players here that should be very embarrassed about their performances. There's also a few players today that can, walk away with their heads held high. I thought De Gea played well. He made two incredibly fantastic saves, if you like. Couldn't do anything about the goals. He actually kept Manchester United in the lead, and to no avail. And of course Casemiro coming back, I thought he played really well as well. But of course the best player is the guy who scored 2 goals. Savilla today was again really, really good, and I think his teammates around him, they've let him down. He showed the way and they didn't catch on to it, and it's 2-2, and I'm really, as a Man United supporter, I'm really, really disappointed, because this could and should have been a 4-5-0 win.
Well, Bruno Fernandes has been out there on the pitch. He was substituted with just under half an hour to go. He was on a yellow card tonight, and that yellow card means that he's suspended for next week. I'm sure some will wonder why it was that he was taken off, but he was. Eric Ten Hag, the possible threat of him receiving a second yellow in this match. So that's a talking point. Maybe he was making the point about Eric Lamela in the first half, whether Savilla should have been reduced to 10 men. VAR had a look at that. However, the end result is Manchester United 2, Savilla 2, and it'll be very interesting in southern Spain next Thursday night in the second leg.